Hi everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad that you're here. I'll be making a October daily page or a spread using Ali Edwards Stories by the Month kit. I think it's October, but it's mainly the digital pieces. It might be a September kit. I don't know, but it's Ali Edwards, and I'm documenting my adventure in trying to make this recipe I found through Instagram. It is pumpkin oatmeal, and I really was determined to make it, make some sort of recipe that reminded me of the season. So I went on quite an endeavor to make this recipe, and I probably should have left more room to journal about the hilarious story, because as you can see, I do not have a food processor. I had a blender, and I was missing a key ingredient, and I will talk about that in my journaling. I have a simple design with a 4x6 horizontal on the right and then some 3x4s, and I'm just not using a page protector. I also have a large photo, a close-up photo of the oatmeal, and I just have to kind of decide where I want to put it because I punched holes on the kind of grid paper I made on the wrong side. But in the end, I'm going to go with the original design that I had, which is the pumpkin oatmeal on the far right side. So I also have a great phrase for the blender that says imperfect and okay. And once I get to the journaling, it'll make more sense. I took the digital stamp that says let's bake, and I added a white stroke and Photoshop elements. That way when I cut it on my Cameo, it would print in or it would cut in one nice big block, and that way I didn't have to glue separate letters. I did the same thing for baking fun, and I cut that twice. And now this is kind of where I was deciding, did I want to have my baking fun title vertical and then maybe make a flip down for my journaling? I probably should have done that because I had so much to say about my endeavor with this recipe. But in the end, I'm just going to go with putting the baking fun below the oatmeal photo, and then I can add the journaling on the left-hand side. I also tuck one of the journaling cards that says making, and I go ahead and tuck that underneath and also add in a love October heart. I'm not going to use the loving because I felt like it is similar to the making and the loving. It's the same thing, same font, just different word. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. I am adhering down the baking fun, and I think I already mentioned this, but I cut it twice. That way it would be a little more dimensional. I got the color for baking fun through the making journaling card, and I just added a white stroke again. I realized that before I can finish adding the title, I have to make sure that the oatmeal photo is down. And in this recipe, it does not call for chocolate chips, but of course I added chocolate chips, and I only added like 1/4 cup of chocolate chips, but it was perfect. And this recipe turned out absolutely delicious. I'm going to leave the link in the description box in case you're interested, but it was so yummy, and you literally just throw all the ingredients in this pan and that's it, and then you bake it. Mine did not quite go as planned, so it took a lot longer for mine to work out, but that's because I was missing the key ingredient of pumpkin puree. I'm going to go ahead and finish adding in my title, and then I'm going to add some dimension to the Love October and also the second heart that I have on the right-hand side. I just have to kind of lift that up. With my October daily this year, there wasn't a lot of like spooky activities, I guess. I don't know. It's just a different season of life. But I did wind up with 13 stories. And I did a class for big picture classes where I did 13 stories in October. And I knew that this whole concept would kind of work for past and present. And I'm so excited to eventually show you guys the finished October daily album for this year and to show you the 13 stories because it worked out great. Even if I didn't have a million festive activities, that's okay. That's okay. I still documented the season in my way and with the season of life I'm in right now, right? I have some tiny little chipboard hearts that I'm going to go ahead and add in. I don't remember what kit those are from. I want to say the Cozy Story kit, but I'm not sure. I've just had them for a while, and I'm going to go ahead and add some in. And then I can work on my journaling. I also have some like word phrase stickers from the Write Story kit. I put noted for imperfect and okay, and then jot it down for the story. And this paper that I used in the background is from the Write Story kit, and it has wonky lines on it. And instead of using the wonky lines, I just used a ruler and pencil. Okay, so this recipe calls for the potato puree and, pumpkin puree. I didn't have that. I did a quick Google search and realized that, yes, my assumption that the sweet potato I had would work great. Only problem is you have to make it into a puree. I can do that. I did that when the kids were babies, but I had a food processor. Now I have a really, really old blender that I literally had to pretty much beat up in order to get it to puree the sweet potato. But gosh almighty, I was determined to make this pumpkin oatmeal. Determined. After who knows how long, it felt like hours, I finally got sweet potato puree, and I was able to finish up the recipe and get it in the oven and bake it. And while it didn't turn out like, the recipe says, it turns out it's like pumpkin bars almost, like oatmeal bars you can put into little squares. Mine was not that, but that's okay. It still turned out, and it was delicious. So it was worth all the fighting with my very, very old blender. And also being, ingenious with my sweet potato that I had. But I got it all to work, and it was so yummy. Like I said, so yummy and so worth it. And I'm glad that I was able to even have the time to have a fight with the blender. So it's such a busy season right now. All right, I'm going to put this in the album, and it is done. And I hope you have enjoyed seeing this quick, easy, and funny story come together. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. All right, I hope you have a great day. Bye.